Hello guys, I am the Unknown Gamer Guide, and today we're starting a whole new series. And you saw me start off with a multi-kill. First time I've actually done that. But yeah, this is the ballistic stories video where I tell personal stories about my life. But first of all, I want to ask you a question. Right now, I've divided the video in sort of two parts. First of all, I'm going to explain the way this series is supposed to work over some gameplay where I cut between like some good moments, and then afterwards I'm going to show a part where I play the whole game or a whole game of ballistic, and you should choose what you like the most. And I know not a lot of you guys actually like to say that, but I mean it would really help me out if you did so. Because like of course it obviously takes longer time if I were supposed to like make sort of like a montage, which I'm doing now. Kind of. I'm not really trying to make a montage, but you know, you get the idea, kind of. So yeah, right now I'm switching to another clip. You know, that's sort of the way it goes. And boom, I got a kill with a grenade. Sort of cool. But yeah, the story I'm gonna tell you guys today is about once I actually broke my foot, and I ran a 3,000 meter race. So how I got into all of that, I want to tell you guys now. Right now we're about to transition into the whole new sort of way to make the video. This last kill was sort of noobish. I didn't even get the kill, but I feel like it got a little bit smoother that way. So now we're changing to one game where I record the whole thing as it stood on the screen. So let's get into the story. Well, first of all, let's start at the beginning. My friend, which is really a douche when I think about it, I was about 11 years old I think, and my friend challenged me to jump off a cliff. First of all, I want to get started. I live in Norway, which is a fairly mountain rich place, and my friend lived straight next to a small mountain, I guess you could say, and we often went up to this mountain to play. And it sort of went like a cliff on the one side, and some places that were really high, and he challenged me to jump down this place. And the reason being was that the little kid, which is completely stupid I have to say, he's way younger than me though, but I mean he's one of those, you can say, free riders. I'm not really into that. They basically jump off cliffs, and in my mind that's suicidal on skis. Just search free riding on YouTube and you know what I mean. But the point is, he's one of those, and he jumped down this cliff no problem whatsoever, and my friend challenged me to do the same thing. Now I'm not the best at jumping down stuff, and jumping down a 4-meter cliff is not my type of deal, but I mean I hate getting beaten by younger people than me, so therefore I accepted the challenge and I jumped down this cliff. I mean it took a lot of convincing when I was on the top, and of course since I broke my foot you probably understand how that happened, but I didn't notice it at first. Of course I noticed I had pain in one of my foot, my right foot in fact. And of course it hurt, but I mean I've broken the things quite a few times before. At that time I think I've only broken my arm twice. Now I've broken my arm 3 times. So yeah. I don't know why I often break myself. I mean it's not healthy, so I don't recommend you to do that. It hurts a lot. But the point is, those 2 times before, it hurted a lot more than when I broke my foot, and I don't know if that's just because the foot might be more resisting or something. I don't know. But the point is, it didn't hurt as bad. So I didn't think it was broken. I just thought, I knew it hurt, you know, but I didn't think it was broken. That's the point of this. And of course, being just 11 years old, I didn't really think much of that I was supposed to run in a race. 2 days after this, I basically lived in the moment as a kid, which might explain why I have broken this much things. But that's besides the point. The point is, I was supposed to run, and I actually kind of like free running, I like running. But you need to remember that running is not what I think is fun, which is kind of contradictory. English, no matter what. It's sort of the opposite of what I said earlier. But I do not enjoy like running the race, because that's painful as fuck. I mean, I'm not even joking here. It's painful to run. But when you're done running, it's the greatest feeling at all. And at my sort of like local running thing, we ran 3,000 meters, and I was not the best one. I mean, I was 11 years old, and I was competing against old grown-up people, because I was not young enough to be able to compete with like kids anymore. So at this time I had to compete with grown-ups, which of course led me to not win this much. I mean, I usually came at 10th place, around there, you know. So I was not terrible out of 30 people, but there was a couple of people who just like ran but weren't really what should I say, serious about it. They were just like running for fun, which I mean most of us did, but I mean they were like they weren't trying to win. They were just trying to like be a part of it. I tried to win because I have an amazing what's it called again? Competition instinct, I guess. I want to win no matter what it is. That's probably the reason why I jumped off the cliff in the first place. So therefore, of course I knew I had a pain in the foot, but I didn't know it was as serious as it was. So starting the race off, I tried to put more pressure on my left foot. It's, obviously, since the right foot was sort of halfway broken. And I ran about 20 meters before I went on this edge with my left foot. So it sort of went like diagonal, I guess, and this motion was not pleased. My knee was not pleased with this motion, so it basically jumped off the place where it normally sits. So yeah, my knee was out of order. I mean, it was out of the place it was supposed to be, and I mean that hurted. That hurted incredibly much. I guess you can imagine. I mean, it's not something like I was passing out or anything, but I mean, as an 11-year-old, it hurts way too much than I would ever imagine. So yeah, I didn't really think it was going to hurt as much as it did, but it did. So I was basically completely disabled in both of my feet, you know. So I was basically I don't know how it looked. I remember crying, which was very embarrassing when I look back on it, but I mean, I was 11 years old and I had an incredible pain, but I was determined on not stop running. So of course I ended last place, even behind those who weren't serious about running. I was behind those people. That's how bad it was. I came far behind, and usually my mom is often on these races just to like check how it's going with me. And she was getting really upset and wondering why I wasn't coming, because usually I was like in top 10, I guess, and now I wasn't even close to the last people. So she actually set out to drive after me on the opposite route of what I was running. But I mean, just like 500 meters before like the goal, she met me and I was crying. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I was crying. And she found me there and she was like, "You wanna stop?" I was like, "Hell no! I've run 2,500 meters and I've come this far. I'm fucking going to the goal." You know, that was my like way to think. Looking back on it, hell no, I don't want to do that. Because when it came to the goal, you're 11 years old and 500 people is gathered on like the round you're running, because on our race the final lap is about 200 meters, you know, or so, where you run around the stadium, sort of, where people are looking at you. Oh, that was embarrassing as fuck. all eyes were pointed at you. You're 11 years old and you cry. You know, what more can hurt your feelings and than that, you know? It was so embarrassing, you know, that I was completely embarrassed. And what was even more embarrassing, even though it was good for me, without no doubt, it was very good for me. The national health team, sort of, I don't know what it's called, but I mean, it was like doctors and stuff. Oh, it's looking like we're getting to the end of the gameplay here. Well, I have to put in some other things then, because I'm not done. Well, the national team of like healthcare people, which were like, what's it called again? They were doctors, sort of, in like a national sports team of Norway, and they were like doctors, sort of. So they just took a look at me and said, this is broken and this one is out of order, and they basically sent me to a hospital where and this is sort of funny though, cause usually when you hurt yourself in the foot, you get like these sticks that you have to walk on, and usually just jump on one foot and use the two others to help yourself. But when both of my feet were disabled, sort of, that was not as easy to do. So I developed this technique where I basically was like walking in a very slow, strange way, which basically made me not move for like 6 months. Nah, cannot be that long. I cannot remember, but yeah, it was pretty darn annoying to like be 11 years old. All your friends are playing football and having a great time, and you just need to watch with these freaking sticks. It was a terrible time, I have to say. But yeah, that's basically the story. If you want to hear more stories, just tell me. I mean, I would have appreciate that. And yeah, please. I mean, I'm begging you. Please tell me if I should have like several clips running in the background, so that I continuously change between like what you should watch, or if I should have like one gameplay like you saw in the last bit. Yeah, that's basically all I have for today, guys. I'm the Unknown Gamer Guide, signing off.